What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Roundtable Sports, NFC North Roundtable. Y'all already know what time it is. We are back for the 2024-2025 NFL football season. We have the usual suspects with us, but before we bring them in, just want you to know that Roundtable Sports has officially launched the entire NFL division. You can get all the latest news and all the roundtables on Roundtable Sports. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels. But welcome to NFC North Roundtable. We're going to start out by bringing our host in. Unfortunately, last in the division last year, we got Nick Rohde in the house. What up, Nick?
TD, that's the last time you'll ever make that statement about being last in the division, because we're taking it back, baby, and never giving it back.
Man,
good to be back.
I hope so, Nick, because listen, I've been talking about it. Listen, the Bears are loaded. There is no excuse for y'all to be behind the eight ball, but time will tell. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. We'll see how things go. But second to last in the division last year, new quarterback trying to figure it out. We got one bar, Minnesota Vikings. What's up, man?
Doing great. Football's back. It is wonderful to be back with you guys. And Nick, hey, I don't get too comfy, man. I like being a little bit ahead of you. You got to get ahead of us before you can start talking smack, baby.
Right. Wow. Listen, man, we got second place in the division. We're talking about an up-and-coming team, a team to be respected. It exceeded expectations of everybody last year, and I don't know, maybe coming for the division this year. Shout out to the Green Bay Packer viewers and Basarake. What up, man?
What's up, TD? Happy to be back. First off, Nick, that's wild. Never say that again. Come on, man. Again, you got to jump the Vikings first. And if we're being honest, right now, this is a competition between the big dogs, the Packers and the Lions. And the Packers are coming back. They're going to take this division back. I see all the Go Pack goes in the chat because we all know. But you two are down on the bottom for now. Let's figure out who can throw the football first, and then we'll start talking about winning the division.
Who can throw the football first? Shots fired. Hey, man, listen, Bash, you got a right to be cocky with the quarterback that you all are putting out in Green Bay. But we got to move to the division champ, the king of the mountain, the top of the mantle, the team that dominated the NFC North last year. And for word on the street, they looking to do it again with their offseason moves. We're going to get into that and more, but before we do, y'all welcome in your division champ of the 2023-2024 season, Dose of Dion and the Detroit Lions.
Man, TD, with that intro, I feel like I should have brought the crown back, man. I was like, yo, where's the crown at? I should have brought it back. You know what? There's a lot of early hostility going on between y'all. I get the energy. I feel it. But I will say, just as a whole, this is the best division in football. So I do like that Bass considered us, the big dogs now. I like that. That sounds good. It's got a good ring to it. But best division in football for sure.
Hold on. Back up for a second because I saw a lot of head nods. Do you all believe that this is legitimately the best division in football?
By far.
Absolutely. It always is. I feel like it always is, just based off of rivalries and competition. Like, you never see a boring game in the NFC North. Unless it's the Packers-Bears some Sunday nights. That's
here we go.
Wow.
I knew he was going to say
so
that.
So you're not talking NFC. You're talking NFL, 8 divisions. This is the best one.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
Bold statement. Oh, man. Better than the Browns, Steelers, Bengals, Ravens?
You started with Browns? Nah, come on.
Oh, man. Well, interesting. I'm going to let y'all know now. That's getting clipped. That is definitely getting clipped. Listen, we got a lot to talk about, man. All of your respective teams are coming into this season trying to make a difference in the franchise history. But with the division champ, with Dose of Dion, man, the Lions, they won the division. At the end of the day, how likely are the Lions to repeat as divisional winners this year, Dion?
TD, did you go to the bathroom today?
Yeah, I did.
Go to the bathroom today. Hey, yo, that was a wild way to say it. but that's how likely. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, man, I don't know. Maybe you ate some crazy stuff last night, and it's like I haven't went in a couple days. Maybe it's one of those situations. So maybe there's a percentage that you're out there, and maybe that's the percentage the Lions don't. But most people are going to the bathroom normally. And that's where the Lions are. Well, this was not a good lead in, TD. You know what, TD? Let's act like I didn't say that. But y'all understand.
Oh, you did.
Y'all understand what I'm trying to say. It's
Yeah,
gonna
he
happen.
did. Clip it, TD.
Okay.
Clip it.
Oh,
Yeah. Now, don't.
So you
Don't
got
put
the
that one.
Lions taking over the division again. What about you, Baz? Do you think the Lions are going to repeat this year?
I don't think they're going to repeat them. It's the first time they won the North. Like I said, I congratulate them on that. But, this is still the Packers division, in my opinion. Don't make me start printing out moons again, Dion. I'll do it. I'll start printing out moons for every week, man. If it starts going that way, I'm going to break out the moons. I'm just letting you know. But right now, man, it's a competition. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, the Lions can't repeat, because they definitely can. I got to give credit where credit's due. I think this division as a whole is just better than it was last year. Obviously, with all talent the Bears added. Minnesota, I mean, don't doubt Sam Darnold, honestly. I think he can put together some good wins and be a game manager. But I think right now, based off paper and what we've seen so far, like, it's definitely, neck and neck, Packers, Lions, and then a little bit of a drop-off than the other two.
Interesting. One bar. What about you? Do you see the Lions doing it again this year?
I'm just Sam Darnold getting love, and we're only 5 minutes into it. I did not expect that. That is wonderful to hear. I'm stoked now. Yeah, I mean, if I'm being real, Lions, what was their biggest weakness? Secondary. Would they just go absolutely balls to the wall on this offseason? Secondary. So that is definitely a huge win for them. I know they added some other pieces as well, but Lions, absolutely. I mean, their biggest thing is, and I said it last year in the playoffs, is I'm just worried about some of the decisions the coach makes, and they got the players, they got it, they got the talent.
True.
I absolutely think that they are the team to beat in the NFC North.
Wow, the team to beat in the NFC North. What about you, Nick? Who do you have winning the division this year, and do you think the Lions can repeat?
I mean, I think the Lions are the top dog. There's no denial that this is a tough division. I think that they have a really good team. They brought back all their key pieces. They looked really good in the playoffs last year. They're definitely preseason favorites at the moment. It's all what's going to end up happening during the season. But right now, I do think that the Lions are going to win the division this year, standing at this moment.
Man, no faith in the loaded Bears?
Clip it.
No, I will say that I think the Bears are going to shock a lot of people this year. I think the Bears will make the playoffs as a wild card team, but this is the last year that everyone's having fun. So the Bears win 3 in a row starting next year.
So
Well, that's interesting.
do you have 2 wild card teams then coming out of this division?
I think the NFC North this year will have 3 playoff teams. I think it'll be the Lions, the Packers, and the Bears.
Wrong.
3.
Damn, one bar. Damn.
I thought he was talking.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, that is very bold. All right, so it looks like you don't have teams like Seattle and the Rams and stuff like that making it then.
Well, we still all have Seattle's players. I think the Rams are getting old, and I'm not scared of anybody else. So,
Wow. Well, I guess we need to mainly focus on this division first, since the Lions are at the top of the mountain and a lot of you guys are trying to knock them down. Well, guess what? This stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits using BetUS, ladies and gentlemen. On BetUS, you have the NFC North odds right now. The Lions are your favorites at plus 140. Okay, it's still good money to be made there. Your Packers plus 200. The Bears with better odds than the Vikings at plus 300, and the Vikings sitting at plus 800. One bar, are you guys getting disrespected here?
I'm more disrespected by that the Bears are plus 300.
Yeah.
That should be a little bit closer to that 800. So it hurts a little bit. I mean, you're gonna see very quickly that I'm gonna be a realist about this Viking season. I'm not gonna say hey, we're gonna come win the North, but that plus 800, that's a punch to the crotch.
Wow. Well, Nick, how do you feel about being above the Bears and plus 300? Do you think that that's right?
I just want to start off with take that one bar. Feels good to be on top. And look at the order you got right now. You put that perfectly in order on the left side of the screen. Nice job. No, I think that it's a fair number because we do have a rookie quarterback. It's a really young team. We have a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. So a lot of people don't think we're going to do well yet. Wait, TD, come on, put me back up there for a minute. At least on the chart. But no, overall, I think that it's fair to start things off at plus 300. I like it now. So if you're not on BetUS, get on it right now. Definitely take that because you will win a lot of money by the end of the season.
Interesting. And listen, Baz, do you think you should be with better odds than the Lions right now, or this is right where you should be?
First off, Nick, don't be a financial advisor because don't go take the Bears at plus 300. Come on, man. New quarterback, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator.
Baz has something
100%.
I like this season already.
Because this is the closest. This is the closest in odds that they are ever going to be to the Packers. A plus 100 difference is crazy. We're talking about the Green Bay Packers that just smoked the Dallas Cowboys in playoffs, and you're going to separate them by just 100? That's ridiculous.
Do you remember who you only beat by 8 points in the final week of the season?
What was like the third word there? Beat? Yeah, we beat.
I just saying. Do you need a hug?
I just need the Bear. I just need the Bears down to like 700, and then we're good.
I need a hug.
Okay, well, we'll talk about this later. Okay, you want to hug one bar?
Absolutely.
Well, not right now. I'm sitting at the bottom. Look where I am. Go to Dion. I don't know. Don't talk about that anymore.
Well, Dion's sitting pretty at plus 140. He has some of the best division odds in almost all the divisions. How do you feel about where everyone else is, Dion?
Yeah, I was with Bass at the beginning there because Nick did just say he thought the Lions were going to win the division. Then he said, bet on the Bears, you're going to win a lot of money. I don't know.
Shock a lot of people.
Okay, all right. I don't know. Look, man, I think the coolest thing about that is that the top three they're very tight. So what we just said about how good the division is, I think that's a reflection of what most people believe, is that it's a strong division, but it's also really tough at the top. They definitely did one bar, though, dirty. Like, they didn't even – 800. They just went out on a limb. I don't know, like, how low that is in comparison to other teams in the league, but that was a little bit disrespectful. So I will join in the hug for one bar.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you let us know what you think. The link is in the description of the video, okay? It's also pinned at the top of the chat. BetUS. All right. If you're looking for a sports book, this is the place to go. All right. Listen, the website is easy to use. You could go ahead and make your first 3 deposits and be able to receive 125% sign-up bonus. Before we move on, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gamblers. Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gamblers insurance. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out BetUS, link in the description of the video. Let's move on because I have a few questions for you all, and I want to start out with Dion here, man. What's up with all this fighting in camp? Y'all can't keep your attitudes under check. Talk to us. What's going on, man?
Yeah, we were talking about this today. I think what the NFL needs to do is if they're going to fine, these teams, maybe they should just do it as like a giveaway. You know what I mean? You want to keep the fans interested? Let's play it like Monopoly. You know what I'm saying? Let's put that thing in the middle. You hit the right space, you get all the money. So that's the biggest thing for me there is like, let's not fine the owners and have the NFL keep it. Let's give away that money. I would like to get into that drawing there. Man, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I guess it's not – I don't know. I don't really know what to do with it because I guess it's not like super surprising. These dudes want to hit each other, and I think the Lions got a lot of dudes that in college, most people would make notes like, hey, that guy, he was feisty in college. We're full with those types of players. So them doing that on the field doesn't surprise me, but I'll tell you this, like when the season starts, this team will be disciplined. We know that. This won't be something that becomes an issue during the year. But right now, they're leaving it out there, and I don't think we'll see this during the game. So I'll just leave it like that. Like we see this in practice, we won't see it during the game tomorrow.
Well, very interesting, man. It's like every day somebody throwing blows in camp. Well, I want to go to you, Bass, real quick, because talk to me about Jordan Love's extension. What does that mean for the Green Bay Packers? How do you all feel about it? And what's your thoughts on that contract extension?
I'm completely okay with it, man. Like when you have a potential quarterback, you got to pay him. Like, when you have a quarterback that can win playoff games, you have to pay them. And I know a lot of people might be sitting here going, oh, they overpaid for Jordan Love, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL now, $55 million per year, which should get beaten by Dak soon, I would assume. But you got to pay Jordan Love when you have a chance, if he's your best chance at winning a Super Bowl, and you're paying for the potential. You're not necessarily paying for what he just showed you in a year. Like, they know what they have with Jordan Love. And I'm completely okay with that. I mean, this guy showed so much at the end of the season, so much talent. And when you watch him, I mean, just the type of throws that he makes, it's very reminiscent of Aaron Rodgers. And, keeping Aaron Rodgers in the building was a huge thing back, when Ted Thompson drafted him. And to me, it's a repeat of that, in my opinion, which is crazy to say because, 30 years of great quarterback play. I didn't think we'd land another one. I thought I'd have to deal with a little bit of sorrow for a little bit. But when you have a chance at a guy like that who showcased so much in 2023, you definitely pay him. So I'm completely okay with that. Russ Ball is great at managing the salary cap. I have no worries about the Packers not having money. They have one of the youngest teams in the NFL, so a lot of other players are on young rookie contracts. So they have a lot of talent around him without having to spend the money elsewhere. So I'm completely good with it.
Man, one bar, what about you? How do you feel about that Love extension?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I mean, it's kind of, the Packers had to do it. Like, they were kind of in a corner where it just made sense. They had to do it. On the other side of things, like, I can't think of anything better as a Vikings fan for this to absolutely blow up in their face after they just paid this guy. Okay. Everything that he's shown, I mean, signs point to him that he's going to be a pretty damn good quarterback. But we got a small sample. Teams have had an offseason. It's easy to say, like, hey, they got an offseason now, they can kind of game plan for him. We'll see. We've heard that a million times, and the quarterback still comes out and gets better. So this is going to be the year. Like, the learning is over. This is the year he's either going to rip it up and absolutely explode, or everyone's going to be like, oh, damn, Packers paid way too much damn money for him. So it's going to be entertaining.
Well, Dion, is this something you celebrate or you worry yourself about for the future?
No, I was with One Bar and Bass. Like, when initially the whole conversation came up, like, if I was looking at it from the Packers' perspective, I would have paid him as soon as possible or to try to get that number as low as possible. There was nothing that you could have really looked at, I think, from last year and be like, well, he doesn't deserve this. Now we're just kind of playing a game here that's like, what's worth playing the game? Let's just pay the guy. That being said, though, the more I've come back to it, I think there's much more. I don't want to say there's risk to this because I think it was something that you had to do. But the flip side is there's a real strong part of me that thinks that it may not go to the way that they think it's going to go. Like, meaning I think Jordan Love might have a much worse season this year than what's expected. I think most people nationally. Just laying it out. I think this might be a step back year for Jordan Love for sure.
That's tough. And ladies and gentlemen, punch that like button. We got 60 people in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. The NFC North Roundtable is back. All right. Let's go with Nick, man. Talk to me. So the extension, are you worried about it? Caleb Williams is coming in the division. Do you feel like, oh man, but Love got extended? Is that what do you think about that deal?
I mean, like, I saw it coming. They weren't going to not pay him. The Packers definitely, he went on a high note. You're not going to not get rid of that guy. You had to give him that type of contract. I've seen this before, though, when the Bears paid Jay Cutler after just one good season and a monster contract back in the day. And Jay Cutler just never lived up to the hype. I mean, it's not, and unfortunately, he is the Bears' greatest quarterback of all time. But it is what it is. But I seen it before. When I saw it, I was like, that's another contract like Cutler right there, man, back in 2011. So I think that I don't think he's going to have like a terrible season. He's obviously shown that the talent is there. But kind of going off what Mumbar and Dion are saying, people have tape on him. But this is going to be a big year for him growing because now he's going to go against much, tougher defensive game plans for him. And then he's going to have to learn against that. But it's the first year of how many years is his contract, Bass? 5 years, is it, right?
Yeah, but it has like an out. So the 2023 cap hits like $75 million. It's a dummy year. That's not going to happen. So after the 2027 season, they'll revisit it. But it's through 2028.
But, it's not going to be perfect the first year. I think he'll still probably throw, more than 25 touchdowns this year. But I saw it and I was just like, well, Packers fans might finally know what it feels like to be a Bears fan for a second with the contract situation.
No way. One bar, what's going on in camp with this whole quarterback thing? I'm hearing all this news about JJ is playing much better. He's balling. Do we have a rookie starter in Minnesota, or do I need to simmer my expectations?
You know, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough call. As of now, if the season were to start today, you know, not that I want this to happen, but Sam Darnold would be the starter. I mean, they got a very tough start to the season as far as schedule-wise. They got San Francisco, the Texans within the first 3 weeks, which is absolutely brutal. We'll see what McCarthy does this in preseason. I mean, he's got the Raiders this Saturday. It sounds like he's going to get a lot of playing time, which he should. As far as coming into it in training camp, I mean, the dude has looked good. I know it's just practice. I know it's training camp, but we've seen quarterbacks that the Vikings have drafted in the past in training camp that have not looked good. So we're already a step ahead of things. The dude is not, one thing with McCarthy, and we all knew this coming out of the draft, is he is ready. Like, he is ready to put a team on his shoulders. He is out there. He's out there. The first day of practice, the dude is out there dancing. He's just high-fiving all the vets. I mean, he looks like he belongs. That's step one. Step two, he's got to back that shit up on the field, and we'll see if that actually happens. But the stuff he's doing in practice, some damn good throws. He's making plays with his legs, something we're not used to with Kirk Cousins, which will be a big win. Very excited. It's a good time to be a Vikings fan with J.J. McCarthy, because hopes are high, and I'm not just overly drinking the Kool-Aid. I think, honestly, when we see McCarthy, maybe like week 6, week 7, we'll see. I mean, it is Sam Darnold. I do believe they're going to let the best quarterback play, and Darnold's having a decent camp as well. So we'll see. But overall, I mean, early McCarthy, I couldn't be happier.
Nice. Good sign out of Minnesota. Well, I want to know if there's also a good sign in Chicago. Talk to me, Nick. Caleb Williams, top of the draft board. What is he doing? Is he ready to take the franchise over and take this division? Talk to me, man.
Man, you know what? I know that I was saying, let's send off a packet. Like, let's get all these draft picks. Let's get everything. I totally go back on my word now. Like, I was like, at first, I don't know about this. And then seeing him in camp and watching all these clips of him, like, he's 100 times better than Justin Fields. I fully admit that I am wrong for that.
Sam Darnold. All right.
There you go. But no, he looks really good so far at camp. The second they put on the pads, everyone was a little bit worried about it. Like, how's he going to do? Doesn't look bad. And he's, going through the repetition. He's learning the playbook quickly. Obviously, having DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Roma Dunze helps you out a ton. But the kid looks good. He knows when to, leave out of the pocket. He has no offensive line right now. That was a big miss by Ryan Poles. But he looks good so far. I really like what I'm seeing. And hoping to see it a little bit more on Saturday in Buffalo, because he could be special. But tampering expectations a little bit. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
So he is playing Saturday.
He is playing Saturday at the moment. They asked Eberflus yesterday, and they said that they are making the decision tomorrow on Thursday. But as of right now, Caleb will be playing on Saturday.
Interesting. Well, that's good news to hear. I think a lot of people are waiting to see what he does on the field. Listen, man, I want to hear from you, Dion. How do you feel about the bad news, Emmanuel Mosley tore his pec? What's going on in Lions Nation, and how do you all plan on remedying that?
Yeah, I've seen that one go around, and then obviously the kicker thing happened. The Emmanuel Mosley one stinks, and I feel for him, because if you know him, he's missed really the last 2 seasons completely. And I just know from like a contract perspective, he signed like a legitimate 1-year deal, and then he signed back basically off of nothing on a very cheap kind of like minimum type of deal, and now this again. So I feel bad for him, because I know for extension, like it's gonna be very difficult to get an extension here when you're trying to just come back for the end of the season. He just continues to get injured. For us as a roster, I don't think it's a monster deal right now, because him even starting, like the idea of that surprised a lot of us that he was actually playing in that role. It's mainly because Branch has played a lot of safety, but we did sign Amik Robertson this offseason, who was a 2-year deal. We know he's going to be here. I expect that he's still going to have the leg up for that position now. And then it opens the door potentially for a guy like Enos Rakestraw, who's done really well through camp. He's gotten a lot of the buzz from Missouri to step in potentially that role too. So I think the Lions' biggest strength, maybe not now, but I thought it was during camp, was their secondary depth. Not necessarily starters, because we didn't know what we had. We just had a lot of young guys. We're going to have to see what the ceiling is. But depth, I thought, was because we had a lot of guys that have started games. So I don't think it's going to be very difficult for the Lions to transition and have answers there. I just feel for him, it stinks that he went down again.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. There's a lot of little injuries starting to pile up around the NFL, and that's what this game is about. Who can overcome them, in preseason and in the regular season, man. Best of luck to the Lions figuring that situation out. But Bass, I wanted to talk to you real quick because I'm getting all of this buzz coming out of camp that the defense is balling, the wide receiver grouping has been phenomenal, especially with nobody really knowing what that group was last year. Talk to us about those two areas.
Well, I'll start with defense because, new defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley was added into the building for Joe Barry. And already right when that hiring happened, we got better because first off, we switched to a 4-3, which I think just suits our players a lot better. Kenny Clark, Preston Smith putting a hand in the dirt, not dropping back to cover Justin Jefferson out of the slot. We're not going to see that anymore, which is amazing, as funny as it was. But this defense overall is kind of just has a new mentality to it. There's a new vibe here. And one of the biggest takeaways I think from this defense I've seen so far is that these defensive backs love Coach Hafley. And there's a big reason for this. He's a former defensive back coach. And a big problem with Joe Barry is he wouldn't let his defensive backs play their game. Go up and press a guy that Jair loves to do. Go up and play aggressive. He played a lot of quarter zone. He played a lot of drop back zone, 3rd and 4. Oh, there's a guy, 8 yards past the first down marker. That was the Joe Barry system, right? Bend but don't break. I think the Packers, you're going to see a lot more of an aggressive approach this year, which I think early on may hurt them, where you're going to see other teams getting more big plays, splash plays against the Packers, where that was kind of the opposite with the Joe Barry system. Like, don't let up the big play, but you can nickel and dime us down the field and end up scoring anyways. I'm very excited with what Jeff Hafley has brought to this team. And the demeanor behind this defense, not only the coach, but the players they drafted with Edgerrin Cooper, Javon Bullard, Evan Williams, all have been super impressive this training camp. I mean, getting Kalen King in the 7th round, he's even shown some flashes. And then moving on to the wide receiver, you said no one really knew what that group was. I think outside perspective looking in, sure. But I feel like us Packers fans, man, I think this is the most depth out of any receiver room in the NFL. You guys might think I'm crazy, but we truly have like 5 guys that could be solid, at least solid number 2s in the NFL. Romeo Doubs has been amazing so far this training camp. The guy's one of the most consistent guys in the room. Watson can show a ton of flashes if he stays healthy. Big if there. Jaden Reed's turning into like a premier slot wide receiver, and he's been great in camp. Tay Wicks is my pick for a number 1 guy in the future. The guy's just an artist. Reminds me so much of Devontae Adams, the way he gets off the line, the way he runs his routes. Bo Melton is a guy that, for a 5th wide receiver, I think could step into a number 2 role in some other teams and produce. And then you have a 6th receiver in Malik Heath, who is a good role player, special teamer, can run block, can go out there. I think he saw heightened stats against the Giants and made some plays last year. And there's some other guys that I'm not going to go dive down into too much because I'm just obsessed with this wide receiver room. But so far, man, the wide receiver is very impressive. Them getting on the same page as Jordan Love is huge. They have crazy depth there. And, man, the defense, it's just fun to see. It's a change of pace. It's really fun to see.
Do you think y'all have the most depth in the division?
In terms of wide receiver?
Team?
I mean, that's a loaded question. I feel like there's so many different positions. If you're talking, I don't know about that because we're such a young roster. So I'm sure there's other teams in the division that have more depth at general positions. But wide receiver, yeah, 100%.
Interesting. We'll have to explore that. Go ahead, Dion.
We have 2 long snappers, so
yeah, and we barely have 1. So you got me.
Hey, hold on, Dion. Are any of them any good though?
Well,
Right.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, TD. I don't know how to separate them. But
we actually have 2, but trash.
Well, maybe
Oh wow!
TD, I take it back.
I
I played linebacker in college, TD. So I just want to see him hit somebody. That's what
y'all legitimately have 2 long snappers though.
We have 2
The
long
Bears
snappers.
do too.
So do we.
All right, I'm gonna take my statement back, but
I never heard of that in camp. I thought you got your guy. Your guy.
It's because the first one's so trash that they have to bring in a second. That's usually why we have 2.
But watch this, right? Our special teams coach, one of our special teams, we have our old long snappers, our coach. So we really do have 3 long snappers in that room, TD. We got
Burt Reynolds in longest yard. He's gonna suit up and come into the game.
Oh my gosh! Hey, Dion looking for the advantage every way he can, man. But listen, man, don't be quiet over there, One Bar. I got some questions for you. You're not gonna escape this, man. Come on, man. Is Addison getting suspended or what?
I hope so. deserves it. Deserves every bit of that suspension. See, Baz is talking up they got a bunch of number 2s there. I can't even talk crap right now that we got 2 number 1s because Jordan Addison is such a bonehead off the field. He can't keep his nose clean. It's ridiculous. It's painful because Jordan Addison had such a good rookie season. 10 touchdowns, 900 yards. When Jefferson was out, Addison was the man, and he stepped in and showed that he could be the guy. His rookie year, he had that where he was going to 155, got pulled over, saying he's bringing his dog to the vet. Now this year, he gets charged with a Dewey. He goes to court October 7th. Within like a week of the tragic news of Kyrie Jackson, which is the worst part of this, is the fact that he does this so close after that just shows how much he's not ready to be an adult, to be whatever. And this is the last thing the Vikings need. I mean, there's been so many good things with the Vikings, maybe not for this season. They're building things right now they signed Jefferson to the deal. They signed Darius out of the deal. They're getting everything in place. They got a ton of money next year. And then you have another guy who's supposed to be a big part of that piece in Jordan Addison doing this crap off the field. And the coaching staff, Kwesi, the GM, like how mad they were even in the public or with the media. I mean, they didn't go off or anything, but you could tell that they were just so disappointed. I can't even imagine what they were behind the scenes. And again, back to the Kyrie thing. I mean, it just shows, this dude's one mess up away from, I could see the Vikings just being done with this guy. And I know he's fantastic, but you've seen this in the league, and it's just, you can't make it up. It's brutal. It's brutal.
And one of the things that frustrated me when I heard about it was, when you see what happened the week before with the tragic news that you all received, that's what was kind of like, man, like, come on. And sometimes you wonder who are in these guys' corner. Who's in Addison's corner? Who's in Tyreek's corner? Who's in Rice's corner? Like, with this responsibility, you need the right people around you. I didn't know about the speeding the year before doing one. How fast was he going?
155. He said he was bringing his dog to the vet at 2
I had no idea about that.
Hey, maybe he was. Whatever. And we're going to let this play out. But, like, just the things that Addison's saying, like, I'll deal with the consequence. I mean, he's not – everything he's saying, it just kind of sounds like he knows he screwed up. The coaches, the way they're talking, kind of seems like they may know a little bit more. Whether the NFL suspend him, I guarantee if they don't, the Vikings will. They gotta do something.
Well, here's what I will say, man. It's going to be interesting to see the outcome to this because he was charged. And what a lot of people don't realize is, like, when you look on the other side of the pond, you look at Rashee Rice. He wasn't charged. And they're still waiting on that outcome. So it could be two different total situations when it's all said and done. The only thing that I don't like, is the timing and just, who's in his corner. You want these guys to have a clean rap sheet, with given the opportunity that they've had. But above all, so talented. This was the breakout. If your quarterback was right, Addison and Justin Jefferson is set to take over the division. I just hope that he gets it right and things turn around in the right way for the Vikings, because there's been a lot of tragedy surrounding the team. On a positive note, though, one thing that I'm hearing out of camp with the Vikings, Aaron Jones, is he as advertised?
Dude, he looks so
Bass
good.
Got that look.
Baz, if you weren't here, I'm not even going to try to rub this in, but we had Madison over the last year and a half or whatever, and he just didn't look great. We were all hoping he could potentially be number one, but Aaron Jones out there, he looks so good. I know he's not a young buck by any means, but this guy looks like he's got a ton left in the tank. Baz, put right up on there.
Come on, man.
Hey, I know saying it. Baz will probably say it too if he can stay healthy. I know Baz still thinks he's a very good running back, and he is. Vikings have not ran the ball a ton over the last couple of years with Kevin O'Connell. I expect that to fully change this year. I expect a big old dose of Aaron Jones, and if he's doing what he's doing at training camp, I mean, I think his career year is like 1,300 yards for the Packers. Just like Brett Favre, Aaron Jones is going to come here and have the best statistical year of his career.
Very interesting times. You might have the best one in the division. Maybe could we be on to something?
What, running back?
Yeah,
Aaron Jones, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, if the Packers gave him the ball in the last couple of years, he would have been the best running back in the division. We're just staying the course. He's just
Deion's
wearing
out.
different colors.
Deion's out.
Dion, you got something to say on that?
What's the next segment, TD?
Oh man, listen, we're about to go to Nick, but before we do have another segment. Let's hear quickly from our sponsor, Shynasty.
Now, you'll probably notice that half of our representatives at Roundtable Sports always have their undies in a bunch when it comes to their favorite NFL team. And listen, I'm sure that they're getting sick of that feeling where they're feeling a wedgie rather than a warm hug. Maybe they want to say goodbye to uncomfortable chafing and hello to the softest underwear they will ever wear. Well, folks, let me introduce you to Shynasty.com, the underwear company that is here to revolutionize the underwear game. Let's be honest, life is too short for boring undies. These are so soft, y'all. You won't even realize you're wearing them. With the moisture-wicking technology and a perfect fit that never rides up, you'll quite literally feel like your balls are floating on a cloud all day long. And look at some of these absolute designs. And get this, folks, if you use our code at checkout, you can get an additional 15% off your order, RTS15. Remember, supporting our sponsors is a way to support us over at Roundtable Sports. So stop neglecting your balls and give them the gift of Shynasty underwear. Link is in description.
Shout out to Dan. Stop neglecting, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check out our sponsor, Shynasty. The link is in the description of the video. All right, man. Hey, talk to me, Nick. There's a lot going on your side. You know, DJ Moore gets the deal. Keenan Allen won his cash. Nate Davis at right guard isn't showing up, and you gave him all that money. What's going on in Chicago? There's so many good things and so many bad. What's up, man?
I'm still laughing at the commercials. I wish you did it, TD.
Following up the underwear commercial with the Bears is amazing.
Yeah, what the hell was that about? Also, I got to say that Brandon Hollum taking a brief break. That was a great comment.
I was cracking.
That was a great comment in the comment section. Oh man, TD. All right, really good segue into me after underwear. Love it. So just to put it out, yeah, DJ Moore getting paid was an awesome deal for the Chicago Bears overall because of the fact that we don't have to pay him that contract money for 2 more years. And then on top of it, we converted his salary this year into a signing bonus. So overall, the Bears actually got $14 million extra in cap, and we still have potentially some moves we can do, or we can re-sign some players. Kind of like you were saying, we brought in Keenan Allen this offseason for a 4th-round pick. He's already doing really well here in Chicago. They talked about it in Hard Knocks. They've talked about it at camp. And he wants to stay. He's like, if I go anywhere else, I want to stay in Chicago and keep playing a little bit longer. So it sounds like they got the money that they could extend him another year, which is great. He is 33, so kind of on the fence about that one. But really liking, Bass kind of said like he has like the most depth at the wide receiver position. You know, if I give hats off to the Packers, they do have a ton of wide receivers. But the Bears went out and they're making it a very close second because Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Tyler Scott has looked really good so far. Colin Johnson, Velus Jones Jr. Like they have a ton. Well, yeah. Well, hey, that's our next Debo over there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we really like the Bears wide receiver room just looks awesome. So Poles did a great job getting Williams every weapon possible. And we have a really good tight end room too. Mercedes Lewis, Cole Kmet, Gerald Everett. So the offense looks great. It's an exciting time. The only thing that sucks about the offense is the offensive line because either everyone's hurt or they're not showing up to camp. And that one guy is Nate Davis. He literally shows up, puts on his jersey, and just walks around, and no one knows what's wrong with him. So a little bit of a frustrating time from that standpoint, but the defense looks really, really good. I think we have the best defensive secondary in football right now. The linebacker room looks super solid. And DD left. All right, I'm talking to you guys now. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, the team's really young. A lot of good things coming out of it so far. So everything's looking good. Hard Knocks is also super fun to watch and kind of see what's going on behind the scenes. But obviously, of course, super excited about Caleb Williams. There's TD.
I'm back. My bad. Listen, man, a lot going on. Can you briefly tell us about Hard Knocks? How did you feel about the debut?
I thought it was really cool. They definitely hit on, like, they started with Jalen Johnson. I thought it was really cool, like, talking about all the traditions that have come into place since Eberflus and Poles took over. You know, the coach's barbecue, the trips, everything like that. So it's cool to see what's going on behind the scenes. I know, Baz had him last year, but Jonathan Owens and, Simone Biles at the Olympics, really cool to see there too. But I thought the best part was how these guys are building the relationships with each other. I mean, we had a 6'7", 300-pound lineman go up in an American Eagle Speedo and sing "God Bless America" in front of everybody, which
What
he's
is
from
going
Canada.
on over there, man?
Yeah, so making memories for sure, but I don't know if they're good or bad. But seeing Caleb Williams behind, like, what he's doing and how, like, they're training him, they're definitely taking out everything they can to make sure he's the best quarterback possible. So Hard Knocks, it was a good first episode. Nothing too crazy like you've seen in the past, like fights or anything like the Lions are doing with the Giants or anything, but it was a good first episode. It's cool to see that what's going on behind the doors at House Hall.
Awesome, man. Listen, we have one more question to ask you all, but before we do, we want everyone to know that you could get the latest and the best merch on the web right at roundtablesportshop.com, okay? roundtablesports.shop, excuse me, all right? The link is in the description of the video. Right now, we are releasing our campaign merch, all right? Williams Adunze is available now. If you want to check them out, they're in different colors. Who are you voting for? We got the Jared Goff St. Brown collection 2024. All right. Jordan Love and Jacobs collection is available. And McCarthy, Jefferson. Hey, we're predicting it. We have the full collection, your election collection. Who are you voting for? You could wear it proudly, ladies and gentlemen. We still have the Lions 2023 NFC North champ t-shirts if you want to cop those and your NFC North Roundtable merch. All right. I'm going to tell you now, the merch have been flying off the shelves when it comes to the election campaign that we're running right now. So supporting us is supporting Roundtable Sports and your host here. Okay. So make sure that you check it out. roundtablesports.shop. All right. If you want to get this merch, it is available now. Make sure you check it out. It is on fire. Everybody, I mean, some of these things, listen, we could get it out to you right away if you need it. I rocked mine the training camp last week. It was pretty dope. All right. So make sure that you check it out. All right. So one more question, guys. One more question. All right. Who's going to be last in this division this year? And I'm going to start with Nick. Nick's muted. Go ahead, Nick.
Hey, one bar. I didn't have to say anything. I'm just pointing over one bar. He's already in the last place spot. Just keep him there for the rest of the season. I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, man.
I'm
sorry, One Bar. I keep slipping. What about you, One Bar? Who do you have in last place this year in your early prediction?
I'll say I'm not as high on the Bears as a lot of other people are. What's their line at? Like 8? What are they at, Nick? What's their win?
7.5.
7.5. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, the Vikings are going to shock the world." I mean, they're going to have some surprising games this year. I'm not as low.
Wait, on Bet US it's 8. On Bet US it's 8.5.
Well, I'm taking the lower on that, but I think to give the Vikings a little bit of credit, they are going to win some games they shouldn't win. I don't think they're going to be as bad as some people think we are. Our defense is going to be better, and our offense will be hit or miss, depending on who the quarterback is. We're going to have some good weeks and bad weeks. That said, Nick, you keep talking about this Bears offensive line with your rookie quarterback. That's a bad mixture, man. Bad offensive line with a rookie quarterback. I know you got those receivers, but I'm going to say old Nick's going to be at the bottom. It's going to be close, but I'm going Bears at the bottom.
Interesting.
God, I can't wait to play you, One Bar.
What about you, Baz? Who you got?
I just love watching this, from the top, just watching those two fight on who's going to be the worst team in the NFC North. I'm kind of sitting here like, damn, who do I choose? I'm kind of just, I don't know. Man, I think it's going to be similar to last year where they're very close. Like they're very close, but it just comes down. Did it come down to a tiebreaker, right? You the same record?
Or was it just 7-10.
7-10. I feel like there's got to be a team worse than that this year. Oh, man. Here's the thing. I think, obviously, Caleb Williams will remain at quarterback no matter what. And I think the Vikings could have, some variety there. So I'm going to go Vikings lower just because if it goes bad, they're going to switch a quarterback, and that could sometimes make things worse. So I'm just based off of that, I'm going to go Vikings below the Bears.
Talk to me, Dion. You're the division champ. Who's going to end up at the bottom?
Yeah, Nick, you're good, man. I'm choosing Green Bay. Look, let's all.
Cool.
I'm playing. No, look, man. I hate to do this. We already looked at the plus 800. I got to put the Vikings at the bottom, but I will say, like, it feels like there's kind of two different paths taking place here. Like you have. Maybe not completely, but you have like the Bears where it's like there's a lot of hype about what they already have and everything that they quickly brought in for weapons. And it's like, let's just get the top quarterback and then we're rolling. Meanwhile, the Vikings kind of feel like they're doing it the right way. And it's like, okay, there's this team was competitive last season. Didn't matter who was at quarterback, they were still scoring 30 plus. So it feels like the Vikings are, in a weird way, more stable. Like I get the sense of like, Vikings are going to beat the bad teams. Sam Darnold can run. It may not always be pretty, but he's a threat because he'll run, and you got to deal with that. And then the Bears side, it feels like there's a lot more like this could go really well or this could go horribly wrong. But I'll stay with the Vikings for now because that's kind of how I'm feeling about this division.
Don't say that.
Tough love, one bar.
baby.
Don't say that.
Man, is there a world where the Bears nor the Vikings are last place?
Injuries.
Jordan Love coming back.
Aaron Rodgers situation, just 3 staffs and then a torn Achilles. Yeah, maybe.
Did he say Jordan Love coming back to life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Clifford at quarterback, like half of the fans wanted last year. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
my
TD,
gosh.
it's going to happen this year. It's going to happen this year. It won't be either of us, I'm telling you.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was your relaunch of the NFC North Roundtable. Listen, we got more great content coming your way this week. I believe on Friday, these guys will be debating it out in another subject. I'm going to leave it as a surprise. So make sure you subscribe right here on the NFC North Roundtable. Come back, show your love, show what team that you're repping, who you're representing, and make sure you hit that like button and let people know about the NFC North Roundtable. And again, thank you to BetUS for sponsoring the show. And make sure that you check out the link in the description of the video. One last word before we go, because Roundtable Sports is a complete network.
Roundtable Sports Network brings you NFL divisional debate coverage on a weekly basis from your favorite content creators across YouTube, featuring the AFC East Roundtable live Monday and Wednesday evenings, the AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. EST, the NFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 9 p.m. EST. The NFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The AFC North Roundtable live Wednesdays at 6 p.m. EST. The NFC East Roundtable live Thursdays at 6 p.m. EST. Roundtable Sports. Real coverage from real fans.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sportsbook and casino.